guys are doing well. So not so while ago I did receive a book mail from NB Publishers, and I want us to read it together. So this is the book If the Dead Could Talk by Juliette Mnqeta. So I'm already in chapter 3. I'm going to read the first, I'm going to continue from chapter 3. Florina followed Nilim up the stairway. They walked past one large bedroom that appeared empty at a glance. At the end of the passage was a smaller room with flashing camera lights coming from inside it. A young constable, Zandi Latina, appeared at the door for the smaller bedroom, holding the camera. She handed them their overshoes and rubber gloves. In the bedroom, the only furniture was a desk, a wooden chair beside which the body lay, and an unmade double bed in front of a headboard, flanked by two bedside tables. This was a big home with two bigger bedrooms, but the victim had chosen this far smaller and empty bedroom to sleep in. There was such a little character to the home that Florina wondered where Mafu had just moved in or wasn't planning to stay permanently. His gaze eventually fell on the corpse. He'd always make sure to try take in a little bit of the surroundings before looking at the victim. Here was someone's father's Here was someone's father, son, brother, and husband. Nilam didn't look in the direction of the dead man. Meet Joseph, Lefty Mafu. Joseph Mafu, Florina whispered. Why hadn't he recognized the name with Dipana had opened him earlier? Mafu? You mean Joseph Mafu? As in, yep, the one and only. Florina had Mnyangezi say. He appeared at the doorway and leaned against the beam with his undergloved hands in his pockets. So guys, as I'm reading, I'm thinking, in high school we used to read in front of the class, and they will just call up your name and say, Dibuseng, please come read the passage for us. So in my mind, that's what is going through. And I'm also nervous because I'm trying this whole thing. Hi, Modi. Oh, I'm currently reading If the Dead Could Talk. So I'm going to continue reading for you. The one and only Florina had Menges said. He appeared at the doorway and leaned against the beam with his ungloved hands in his pockets. His unusual smile was there. The advisor to the director of the South African Bureau of Intelligence. But he's retired now, isn't he? Florina said. It's some other guys who is the advisor now. I can't think of the name offhand. Thanks, Sherlock. Nalim equipped. Hi, Hahash. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Steven. Florina pressed his lips together to suppress a rebuttal and looked back at this Joseph Mafu. Mafu was lying on his left side. The gunshot wound was on the right side of his graying head, while the Glock 22 pistol was about 30 centimeters away from him. Florina crossed next to Mafu, who was wearing blue striped pajamas and was barefoot. It looked like he had been preparing to go to bed before he decided to shoot himself. It was such a demeaning way of a man of his stature to be found. Oh my god. Ooh. The South African Bureau of Intelligence, Florina, thought he had always been neutral in his feelings for the organization, although he knew plenty of fellow officers who hated SABI. The South African Bureau of Intelligence specialized in the collection of intelligence, advocating in the intelligence-led policing. It had fewer staff than South Africa's other two crime prevention units, the Directorate of Priority Crime Investigation and the South African Police Services, about 1,500. Its for information was the product of both the state and the various private sectors organizations. Of course, there had always been conspiracy theories that the intelligence SABI was meant to collect was only against poor criminals and politicians. SAPS officers refer to against poor criminals and politicians. SAPS officers referred to SABI agents as nerds in suit which guns they never needed to use. Gosh, we're reading a thriller here. This is so interesting. So if you are interested, this is the book that I'm currently reading. Yeah, you can get it on Takealot and all bookstores. Bargain books. I'm not sure about exclusive book. I'll have to check. And then it says, when did Mr. Mafu move to Cancer, sir? Mid-Jan this year, Nilim said. He took an early retirement out of the blue. In December, why do you ask? Verena straightened. It's almost like he was detached from this place somehow. I mean, why did he choose the smallest bedroom to sleep in? When Nilim didn't respond, Florine walked towards Mafu's unmade bed. The sheets were more wrinkled on the left side. There was a glass ring residue on the left beside table, while the right table was flaked with dust. Oh my gosh. Where does Xavier fit into all of this if Deprena thought it was a suicide cell? Nilim ran through the events at 35 minutes past 11. A 3211 SMS tip-off was sent to SAPS that a shooting had occurred in 19 River Street. Shoo! Hi Modi. It's not. It's actually my first time reading a thriller. Yeah, I'm exploring. Constable Abraham, who took the instruction from the call center, recognized that 19 River Street is Lefty's address. He told me immediately. That's why I'm here personally with the team. A trace was put on the device that had sent the tip off. It was Mafu's phone. While Nilim and the others went to Mafu's residence and Constable Meyer followed the direction of the trace. They found a drunk Xavier sitting beside a rubbish bin with the phone in his hand. It had seemed that he couldn't unlock the phone's password. Did Xavier see who had dumped Mafu's phone? Nilim shook his head. He says he didn't see anyone and thought finding a new iPhone in the street rubbish instead of instead of rotten food was his ticket to getting rich. But he might remember something in the morning after he's soaked up. At least he's got a place to sleep tonight. When SAPS had arrived at Mafu's property, they found the double gates wide open. The front door was unlocked and the alarm system hadn't been enabled yet. Nelim said there was no sign of a break-in or a scuffle. Then they found Mr. Mafu as he was. That Luke 22 was registered to him. So why did Dibuseng assume this was a suicide? Interesting. But why did he think so? Let's find out. Florina asked, It's it's what I said to him at first. There was no break-in, no resistance from Mr. Mafu's side, and it is his gun. The gunshot wound also shows the weapon was held right against his head. We just haven't figured out how leftist Mafu phone got into the rubbish 2 street from here, and where the informant who used his phone fits into all of this. Fits. The cell phone being dumped makes it feel more like homicide now, say. This informant was with Mr. Mafu and he or she killed him. Then why would this so-called killer alert the police? Walter. I'm not gonna read the whole chapter 3, although there's only 2 pages left. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna end here and then I'll finish off. Tomorrow we're gonna do another live. I'm gonna continue reading. So tomorrow I'm gonna read the whole of chapter 3 and chapter 4. Please subscribe if you haven't, like, share. And let's continue reading. He could have shot Mafu, left, and all of this would have been discovered the next morning. And it's someone Mafu knew, because this person wazzled right into his home and into his bedroom. Why would Lefty Mafu simply sit there? Nilam paused and pointed to the chair and allow someone to hold his own gun against his head and shoot him. Farina let out a weary smile. Now that's the conundrum, sir. But all I know is that Mr. Mafu definitely didn't fire that gun himself. This complainant made a very clumsy job at making of all this seem like a suicide, but that he was the unfortunate witness to it. Guys, we're gonna end there, and then tomorrow we're gonna continue with chapter 3, and then I'm gonna do chapter 4 as well. I hope you have enjoyed my reading, and then as we go on and on and on, we will unpack this book together. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye.